Hey everyone, it's Anna. Welcome to my garden. This is the first garden tour I've ever done in September. The last garden tour I did on August 4th was the latest garden tour I'd ever done in a season. But I thought I would do one today because, well, we're probably going to get a frost tonight and I wanted to document the garden. So, this is outside the garden along the fence. You can see my peony plant has started to turn. My echinacea plants are filled with flowers, but they've been damaged by some cold nights. And a lot of the flowers there are a little beyond their prime. My basket there is looking a little sad, but you know, it is what it is. The deer have also eaten a lot of plants in that area. So let's go ahead and take a look inside the garden and see the chaos that is September in a garden. And actually, today is the 29th of September. And so again, we're pretty late in the season. We don't usually get frost until like the 7th of October or even later. So this is a pretty early frost for us if we get it tonight. So that first bed on the left there was the strawberry bed. You can see how full it is this year. Next year will be its third year and it's going to be great. I just know it. This is a wall of cherry tomatoes, and you can see we've been picking cherry tomatoes off of this thing like crazy, but you can see how many tomatoes are still on the plant. So I'm hoping we don't actually get a frost tonight and hard enough to kill off the plants, because we still have a lot of fruit in the garden. And this is another wall of tomatoes. These are large tomatoes, and there's a whole bunch of tomatoes in the kitchen right now, but there's also still a whole bunch on these plants. So I'm hoping, again, that we don't actually get a hard frost tonight and the plants recover. So then you can also see some zinnias I planted in this bed. These were the latest started zinnias that I did, and I won't be starting them this late again because I'm just now starting to get blooms off of these. And if it was not for tonight getting this cold frost, they would be fine. I'd be able to pick from here for probably 2-3 more weeks at least. But if we do get frost tonight, these are probably going to be gone. This bed has carrots, beautiful carrots in it, and then another row of sunflowers. This also was where my pea wall was, those spring peas. So these sunflowers are almost ready to bloom. I've picked 2 of them, and I'm just hoping tonight they don't get damaged because I think they would be blooming by Friday. So close. This is some of our carrots that we've been picking. They've been so good, and I'm actually looking forward to these being in the ground when the frost or the cool nights do come, because it actually makes them sweeter. And there's some carrots in the next bed over too. So carrots were great this year. But you can see how tired everything is looking. It's getting a little wind beaten today too, because we do have a storm, which is why our temperature is dropping so much. But it's super, super windy during the day here when I'm filming this. So you can see everything dancing around. Big gusts come through and you'll see all the things moving. So here's just a look at some of the specialty zinnias that I'm growing. This is the unicorn mix from Floret, and I'm so happy with these zinnias. In fact, you'll see so many blooms on these plants because I'm desperately trying to save seed from these plants. So because tonight's weather is dipping so low, I do end up picking most of these flowers. Because I know that I can dry them in the house, or at least mature them in the house and get some seeds out of them, even though they should mature on the plant. But I'm hoping that the cold air doesn't kill these plants, and then I'll be able to get some blooms off of them again. And this is another little section of unicorn zinnias on the back side of the first wall of cherry tomatoes. And so you can see that one way up there. There's 2 up there that are like 7 feet tall. But most of them here in the front are beautiful. Look how many petals are stacked on there. So pretty. There are quite a few open centers in this mix, but the colors are great. They're nice, soft pastel colors, and every once in a while you get a pop of orange with a pink center. Super cute. I love these flowers. And then here is a look at some of the layered ones. So this is what I would shoot for next year by saving seeds from this year. So Aren't they cute? I love all the little stacks of petals, the little pink centers. They're just great. And the reason I'm wanting to desperately save seeds so bad is that these seeds are not going to be available from Floret for next season. So if I want to grow them again next year, I've got to save seeds this year. And then here's an even more mature one. You can see how many layers of petals there are. And then how it ombres from yellow to pink down to light green. So pretty. And then here's another really cute stacked one in a beautiful peachy color that has pink centers on the petal, each petal. And then in the center of the flower, it turns to yellow. So cute. And here you can see it was really getting gusty. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to get some of these seeds and grow them next year. So I would really enjoy that. There you can also see some of my volunteer sunflowers. They are living their best life there. Some of them have lost all their petals and have set seed for the birds. Here are some beautiful tomatoes on the back side of that cherry tomato wall. So they've been great this year. This is the bed of corn that I grew, just decorative corn. And so the wind was really whipping it around, but it's about ready to come out, and we'll be using it for fall decoration around the chicken coop and around the house and stuff outside. This is another bed of tomatoes. These are also big slicing tomatoes like Black Crim and Cherokee Purple, and there's been a lot of tomatoes picked off of that section as well, but there's still a lot of fruit left to be ripened. Here's a massive marigold that has taken over the center bed. And, these are a tomato from Burpees called Too Tasty. And if you let them ripen completely on the vine, they have those black or purple top shoulders, and then they have red on the bottom side, and they are so good. And then this is my first year growing cucamelons. I was surprised to find those in the garden this year. So aren't those cute? They actually look like little teeny tiny watermelons, but they taste like cucumbers. Look at all those tomatoes. Please ripen. Oh, this early frost is really gonna hurt my feelings, I think. So I also planted some more sunflowers in this bed. This is the bed that I had our bush beans in, and also a row of snapdragons on the back side of the tomatoes. These sunflowers, I was hoping that they would be able to come to flower, and I think they're probably going to bite the dust tonight, but we'll just see. These are some other specialty zinnias that I'm growing, and I'm also going to be saving seeds from these. And aren't they pretty colors? Look how fun and peachy they are. This is the Queenie Lime Orange, and in the back of this row there's some Queenie Lime Red. You can see the darker pink colors in there. So these have been great this year. So pretty and super prolific. You can see how many blooms are on these flowers. Our pear tree actually set a bunch of fruit this year, which I picked today. So this is its first year of having more than just one or two pears. I think last year we maybe had 2, maybe 3. So this is the most that it's ever set, which is kind of fun. So, and then here's just a view from the center of the garden looking back into the raised bed area. So you can see how late in the season everything just kind of looks tired. A lot of things have gone to seed. My big pots of cosmos there in the front, those 2 dark pots are full of some cosmos. They've all pretty much set seed now, but that's okay. Things are setting seed. I'm able to collect the seed and grow it next year, so it's all good. So, but things are looking pretty tired, as am I, to be honest. You can see I haven't mowed in this area for a long time. So you can see how kind of the grass is able to wick water from the garden and grow along the outside edge. Super, super windy. It's not usually windy like this here, so the plants were kind of taking a beating. Next year in this raised garden bed area is going to be all dahlias. Here are some of the pumpkins that I've grown, And in the upper right corner there is a gourd. So there's some gremlin gourds growing all throughout here as well. And the grass has gotten tall, and I haven't actually been walking through here at all. I haven't actually gone through here in about 5 weeks. So I'm excited to see just what I can pull out of here for fruit this year. And then on to the cut flowers. The first row here was some Amazon dianthus and some feverfew. There was some bells of Ireland and nigella in this row as well. So that all did really well. You can see just how tall and thick the raised or the cut flower area is. The snapdragons are on their second or third flush of blooms. The straw flowers have yet to stop. I've been cutting a lot of flowers off of them, and they just keep putting up more and more flowers, and they just keep getting taller and taller. So they've been great this year. And then we also had some pincushion flowers that were crazy. They pretty much took over a row, and I had to keep pushing them back into their row, and they'd take over the aisle, and I'd have to keep pushing them back. But you can see here my aisle between my snapdragons and straw flowers is pretty much gone. So next year there will be some more support put in place. Now that I know just how big these plants can get, it'll be nice to be able to have some additional support for them, some netting where needed, and then I think my rows will be able to stay maintained. There's a pitchfork I was using as a hose stop. Here you can see some of those pincushion flowers that I mentioned. They've all gone to seed. Yeah, there's another row, a walkway that's non-existent with the straw flowers leaning in. They just got so much taller than I was expecting, so much bigger than I was expecting. And then on the back side of the cut flowers, I have that section of zucchinis, and I had to put in another section of sunflowers. So that's what those little dead-looking plants are there in the center, is another round of sunflowers that I had put in. They did not fare well right there. I don't know if there was a vole getting to them or just what was happening, but they did not grow well there. These are some specialty sunflowers that I got from Baker Creek. They were like a creme brulee and something else. While they were beautiful in the garden, you can see that I didn't pick any of them because all of the heads were clustered up at the top like that, and it would have made for a very, very difficult use in a bouquet. So I just let them be in the garden, and they were just fine. And then you can see some of the last dahlias there. And there's a look at the edge of the garden where I've got some of my perennials. And then finally here you can see back across the cut flowers, you can see the other side of the zinnias. You can see my 2 dahlia rows here in the front. It looks like there's some flowers still left in there, but they've pretty much been, the flowers that are left there that you see are past their prime or are too young to cut. So I'm hoping that even if the cold night takes some of these leftover blooms out, that the plants will be okay, and then they'll continue to push up more blooms. Here's another look at the snapdragons. They are so cute, so pretty, and then the statice did so well this year. I need to get out there and pick that entire row and dry it, but of course you can see lots of zinnias in there. It does look like there's a lot of flowers in here, but this was before I went through and picked, and so there's not as many flowers left in the garden right now. But I hope you enjoyed this quick tour of the garden. It is at the end of September, and we are definitely feeling the change of the seasons here. The garden is looking like the changing of the seasons is coming or happening, and things are starting to settle in for fall. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.